Welcome back to the channel, folks. Today we are going to make carbon fiber parts. You excited, Prince? He doesn't look excited. I'm excited. Let's get going. Man, I haven't traveled this way in a while. 440 east from 65. It's coming along. The entrance is a crazy hill right now, I guess, until they get it finished. But look at this. This is gonna be amazing to drive on once it's finally finished. All right, let's get back to time lapsing already. Hey, quick question: do you guys like time lapse or not? I'm kind of into it. I don't know if you guys like it. Drop a thumbs up if you like it, or a comment. Great. Every time I pull up here, it always feels a little weird, but usually after it rains is when it feels weirder. It's crazy potholes in this lot. I mean, I know you can see that. I'm trying to avoid them, so I'm not filming, but wow. God. And that's like just the beginning, folks. That is just the beginning. There's more ahead of us. Everywhere you see water is a big hole because water doesn't stand around here. It puddles. Anyways, we're here. Let's get inside and see what the heck we're getting into today. Folks, we're here with our buddy John Kamler. What's up, dude?
How's it going?
Welcome back to the channel. What are we working on here today?
So what we are working on right now is these are wing molds for Gen 3 and 4 Dodge Viper.
Okay.
And so these wing mounts are different because these fit convertible instead of coupe.
Instead of the coupe. Okay, cool.
And so what's different about those is that these are a 1/2 inch extended to get a correct pitch on the wing, and they have a different contour to fit the convertible trunk lid.
Oh, okay.
So that's why these are different.
Cool. And so what you're about to do is these are the molds. You're just trying to file them down and make them kind of get them ready, I guess.
Correct. Yeah, we're just getting rid of rough edges, and then we're going to fill in any small voids, and then wax them up with mold release and start bagging them up with carbon.
Awesome. All right. Well, we'll get to a little bit of time lapse. Back, and this man has, what did you call it, mold release?
So this is mold release wax.
Looks waxy. Okay.
Looks waxy, and it actually has a vapor pressure to it. So it's more than just wax, and it's a PTFE based wax. So it's Teflon based wax that's got a vapor barrier.
This is not something you want to put in your car, I guess.
You will not get it off.
Oh. You definitely don't want to
yeah. If you hate someone,
put on your car.
Give them a can of this wax to put on their car and then leave Earth.
Okay, I'm glad that you covered it up so we can't see the name.
Right, because you don't want to know.
Yes, and I don't want people going out there and messing with their buddies. But all right, so you're gonna apply that to all these, and then we'll check in once we get to the next steps there. Great. Little pieces of clay going in there.
Yep.
Cool. You just to make sure that whatever you're going against is going to be nice and smooth and perfect. And it's so cool. Clay is used for so many different things, and this is just one more thing, I guess, huh?
Yep.
You never get tired of playing in the dirt.
Nope.
Every wing needs wing ends, and that's what this is. I guess this is just a cardboard mock-up, and now we're gonna take some of this, what is that stuff called?
This is just regular construction foam.
We've got our molds, they've been cleaned out, they've been waxed, you put the clay in them, then re-waxed, they're ready to go. This piece right here is what we're actually trying to make, or I guess a piece very similar to that.
Yeah, very similar.
Very similar. All right, and you can see as you look at the mold, it's kind of got the same shape as that. That one almost fits exactly in there. It's pretty close. there's that extra extension you need, I guess.
And
And the
the
bottom
addition
part,
is
yeah.
just very, very slight.
But anyways, they are different, so that's why we have to do a whole new one, and we will continue on as you start laying this carbon in here. We're not going to show everything, folks, to keep a couple of these things that he does special on him instead of on us to show the world. But this is a good start of trying to learn how to do carbon fiber. So let's keep moving. All the proprietary things that he does has not been filmed, but we're here moving on with these carbon parts. Looks like you're laying out some kind of what is that?
So this is so the mold has the carbon in it. That's what we can see now.
Okay, yeah. So we've layered some carbon in there, and it has, as you were mentioning, the stuff that you're using is pretty much built for each other. So like the fabric that you're using is designed and built for
The resin system
that you're using, and kind of vice versa. You have to use specialized products here. This isn't just regular gel or Gorilla Glues or any of those things.
Right.
So that's all been laid. Now what you're laying there is that what is this fabric here again?
So it gets this plastic over this release film over it, which is perforated.
Okay.
When the vacuum happens, all the excess resin and excess trapped air gets sucked out.
Okay. All right. Great.
And this is a breather fabric which routes the vacuum evenly throughout the part.
Okay. All right.
And then it also soaks up any excess resin.
So we're going to be taking all of those pieces and covering them in this fabric like you just did there, and then placing them inside of this, part of, I guess, one of the known things about carbon fiber is the whole vacuum theory that you have to use, you have to create pressure to suck out all the air, kind of like you would with a food serve. You're trying to save some steaks or some pork chops or whatever it is. So that's basically what he's going to be ending up doing here inside of this, which I don't know if I can get my finger in there, but this is kind of like a bag. Most of these you have to create your own bag for the most part, right? It's not like you're buying all these parts that he does vary in size, so you just kind of create your own bag, and you'll see he's going to place that in here.
And this is a specialized film, so this film has an elastomeric quality to it, which if you really get a big three-dimensional piece, it allows to drape and go into cavities without popping a hole.
Yeah, it definitely feels like a different plastic than I felt before. I was in the food service business for a long time, so I'm familiar with what plastic wrap feels like.
Yeah, this isn't plastic.
This is not plastic wrap. But all right, well, we'll show him loading these in here, and pop back in here after we get closer to getting the bag hooked up to the, what is it, a compressor of some form, or
Vacuum pump.
Vacuum pump. All right. Now we have these other two pieces that go on the inside of the, I guess, the structural part of the wing. He's covering the same process. These were done on either side of that. What is that stuff called? Construction?
Yeah, just construction foam.
Construction foam. And it will be reshaped basically like, I guess, kind of clamping those things together like you would the other pieces that are in there at some point. So, cool. All right, well, looks like everything's going to fit in that one bag. Parts are in, and now we're going to end up closing this sucker up and adding the vacuum connector, and great. So we've added this thing. What is this thing called?
That is the vacuum port.
Vacuum port. So a little Sharpie, couple holes, and then that thing is put in. So cool. What's the next step here?
Next step is to close off this bag.
Close the bag. All right. So it's just your basic pump. It's got mounted on the table here, and then he's taken his cord and went around. Perfect placement of the pump. The cord doesn't get in your way. Then you just begin the process of making sure she's sealed up. You've got all your clamps here with your yardstick, and you're on your way, man. This you can see already it's doing its thing. That's pretty amazing. And then you'll probably apply heat to this of some form to kind of quicken the process up.
Correct.
Awesome. She's been on for probably 3-4 minutes maybe, and he's just taking a little tool and working out all the air he possibly can. You can see color wise this gel is definitely beginning the process of doing, you know, leaching or whatever. I don't even know what you call it, but you can see it's kind of dotting out.
So this will all be saturated
when it's done. Okay, so this will probably be like shiny. Everything, all the what you see here.
Well, it'll all be this darker color.
Right. Yeah.
White. Okay, so this has been on vacuum all night, and you can tell that it's pulled lots of resin out. It's almost filled all of the breather, and everything is pretty hard. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn the vacuum pump off, debulk these, and trim them out, and then we are going to post-cure these parts later with heat to give them some extra strength. And you can see this is what we got here today. So you can see it's all vacuum bagged in. It's got the definition for where the wing mounts will need to fit on the other side. These actually now will get popped out, all the edges trimmed, all the interior surfaces prepped for adhesive and threaded mounts.
So the molds have come out of the bag, and now we've got all the extra layers off. You're saying the little plastic piece, you can see the plastic's not on there, and what was that fabric that just kind of soaks up the
so the breather is off, and
the breather fabric,
and the release film is off.
Okay, and the next step is just pop it out of this mold.
We're just going to pop it out of the mold and start trimming it.
All right, cool. Well, let's get to it.
So these edges are always super sharp, but they just come right out.
Oh, there she goes.
That's what it is.
She's out, and as you can see, there's a lot left to do to this part, guys. It's not finished. You know, I guess as a theory, each one of these steps has more steps to it, right? It's not like, okay, we're done. So it looks like you got a little bit of trimming to do here, and we're gonna start that process now. Trimming is done. You can see he's got them back into the molds. He's got a couple more proprietary things he's going to do to them, and then clamshell, this piece connects with that piece.
Yeah, they mate together. These get bonded together. 2 inserts get machined and then stuck in here when they get bonded together, and then after 24 hours they get unbolted and then popped out of the mold.
Okay, and then again, this is our theoretical, close to that look, finished product. All right, let's see functionality here. So the piece that we've been working on here is in his hands, or the theoretical one. And then where does that go on the wing here as far as structure goes?
So this wing is still being worked on. The mounts are bolted and bonded in place, and we're waiting for this adhesive to set up so we can trim that back.
Okay.
But when those mounts come out of the mold, this is what they're gonna bolt to.
Okay.
And these have a multitude of different adjustments for all these holes to line up.
Settings. And what kind of hardware goes in there?
We use a 10/32 countersunk aerospace fastener.
Okay. And then so like that's the main one that goes here, right?
This is the pivot point.
Yep. And
then there's another bolt that goes back in here that you can adjust this, and then one of these holes will line up with one of these holes, and then that's your adjustment.
That's your adjustment. Cool. And all, again, this is all aircraft stuff. You're not just throwing stuff that you're going to find at Home Depot.
Yeah,
in to secure these fasteners.
we do not use hardware stored fasteners.
All right, now let's see where this other piece goes so people can kind of see what the kind of the purpose of that is. You're going to flip the wing over here.
So this piece will get trimmed. It's still pretty rough.
Yeah,
once it's
early
trimmed,
stages.
the foam gets carved out, and then there's two 10-32 nut plates that get riveted in here.
Okay.
And then this will go right in here, and this is for the wing end plate to bolt to.
Okay. Cool. Well, so folks, that is a quick little expose on some of the carbon fiber work that John does here at AxisPowerRacing. I'm glad you joined us today. If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe where available, and we'll be doing this a little bit more often.